Adams there. You got the tight ends. There's no question about it. But what does Aaron Rodgers want to do? He want to push the ball down the field. So as long as you continue to do what you do from a defensive staple, bringing the pressure, doing those sort of things, getting the football out of his hands, because he can't hold it forever. He's got to get it out. If you're bringing that pressure, you're doing what you're capable of doing, you can create problems for the Green Bay Packers. They are shorthanded at the skill position. We already know that. It's going to be a tough out.
Based on what you just said and what you're talking about, because Aaron Jones is going to have to be the focal point for this Green Bay offense. He's the best weapon that they have, devoid of Devontae and Lazard. Okay. And he's been used in so many ways. 100 snaps at outside linebacker, 100 snaps at inside linebacker, 50 snaps at corner. Right? He's becoming that player that we remember from Clemson. Yeah. And that he is the piece that Vance Joseph uses in order to pressure teams as much as they want to because they feel comfortable with him in man. So it's not just about how well they're doing on defense. Yeah. Vance Joseph has done a phenomenal job where he deploys his defensive players. Right. And this was one of Isaiah Simmons' strong points. And me and Laura said at the national championship when they played LSU, and you were there too, D, and I said, that's the best defensive player on the field because of his multiplicity and things he had to do. This is a huge game for him because he's going to have to take care of Aaron Jones a lot this game.
Huge game on Thursday Night Football. Packers, Cardinals. We'll see if the injuries wind up diminishing the product that we wind up seeing on Thursday night. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio. Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray certainly have not disappointed. There have been quarterbacks that have come up a bit short. ESPN analyst Dominique Foxworth.
I think I'm going to have to go with Tua. Like, I think why he's disappointing is because he shows such good plays sometimes, and then he makes really terrible, inexcusable plays. Last week, he was really good, and then he made some turnovers that really cost him the game. And so no one's going to be perfect. The mistakes are fine. You're going to make mistakes, but don't turn it over in the red zone. Don't throw it up with your eyes closed doing jump passes when you're nervous. Like, those are Lamar Jackson plays. You're not at Lamar Jackson level quite yet, and it wouldn't be so disappointing if it wasn't for the fact that we felt like this was the time for them. Like, their roster is well built, and he shows those glimpses where it seems like he can anticipate, he can target well, he does everything well, and then it's like, what are you thinking?
Tua Tagovailoa has also been sidelined as well, just like Baker Mayfield, who's trying to come back from injury.
You go out there, you're scared, you're timid. That's how you really get hurt, seriously. And so I can't do that, you know. So like I said, trying to get the strength back and be able to go as close to 100% as possible. And you can do certain things to repair the stuff inside the rotator cuff and strengthen it up. You know, if you examine a lot of people's shoulders, you see a lot of partial tears in those labrums. So you can do things to, I guess, help with that.
Browns and Steelers this weekend in Week 8. Baker Mayfield wants to try and go. If not, it's Case Keenum. Browns a better team with Keenum? To our NFL Live crew.
Absolutely, they're better. I think better long term. And what I'm saying is, right, when you look at Baker Mayfield, it is nothing special about Baker Mayfield. He doesn't have a strong arm. He isn't elusive. And he's not a force multiplier like Mike Tannenbaum always speaks about. Right? So really, the hardest thing to have in life and sometimes in your profession, especially in football, when it's all about bravado and ego, is perspective. And understand who you are and what you are. Listen, I was a good football player. I wasn't a great player. I played next to a great player, Ray Lewis. Baker Mayfield needs to realize who he is and what his limitations are, because if he wants to be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, he's going to have to make sure that contract is about $30 million, which is tremendous, that he can make $30 million with visibility. But he's not a guy, when you look at other teams on the sideline, that you're saying that he's going to be special. He's not a guy that you think that when he has the ball in his hands that he's going to win the championship. He has two of everything. Like I said last year, he does less with more than any quarterback in football. Take Baker Mayfield out of the equation and go through all the starting quarterbacks in this league and say, if you put them there, is the Cleveland Browns better? And I say yes till you get to like number 18.
Well, it's about value. I don't think they're better off with Case Keenum because you're going to get what Case Keenum gives. And I think Case Keenum's season in Minnesota was an anomaly. I don't think Baker is the greatest thing since sliced bread either. I think Baker is insulated, and he has an opportunity to play well at times because of what Bart mentioned. So this is about Baker's value. The Cleveland Browns are going to go forward with Baker Mayfield as their starting quarterback. They took him 1 overall. He's played good enough in order for them to continue to extend him and get him to a point where they want to see if he can continue to progress and get a little bit better. I'm agreeing 2 things can be true. It's true that the Cleveland Browns are going to go forward with Baker Mayfield. But it also is true that Baker Mayfield is not a force multiplier. And I agree 100% with you on that, Bart. But don't put your eggs in Case Keenum basket. Don't let Case Keenum come in and give you the thought that the Cleveland Browns going forward would be better off with Case Keenum. I'm going to take the full resume as opposed to the one anomalous season that he had with the Minnesota Vikings. Granted, give him credit for it, played phenomenal. But I think Case Keenum overall is who Case Keenum is. Baker Mayfield is still young enough. And I'm talking about contract talks. He's still young enough for the front office to get together and say, hey, we got a value for this guy. We want to pay him this much money. It's going to be about Baker Mayfield and whether he accepts that amount of money. Because it won't be in quarterback money that negates a team from having the ability and the flexibility to sign players. They know they need that with Baker Mayfield at their quarterback.
Browns and Steelers this weekend in week number 8. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio from Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max and Greeny weekday mornings through Spain and Fitz and Freddie and Fitzsimmons weekday afternoons and evening. You're a part of ESPN Nation on the Dr. Pepper Twitter feed. ESPN Nation presented by Dr. Pepper. College football's back. So are the fans. Return to glory with Fansville by Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve. Back to the NBA court in Phoenix Wednesday. Kings and Suns tied at 107 in the closing seconds.
Fox with the inbounds to Barnes. He turns. He fires for the win. He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes, in very similar fashion to his victory last year at Golden One Center against the Cleveland Cavaliers, I believe it was, has just nailed a buzzer-beating three. The Kings win it 110-107.
KHTK with the call. Harrison Barnes, game-winning three-pointer as time expires for the 110-107 victory. Chris Paul, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 for 10 from the floor. Tied for his second worst field goal percentage in a game in his career where he's had at least 10 shot attempts. Wizards and Celtics.
On Al Horford, pull-up three, high arcing, got it to go. That three nearly touched the moon for Spencer Dinwiddie, and the lead's up to 10, 108-98. Dinwiddie with 13 on the shot clock, guarded by Schroeder. Towards the center circle as the clock goes down to 8. Now off a Harrell screen to the right elbow, to the right block. Wiggles his way past Schroeder and puts it up off the glass and good. Wow. A patient move by Dinwiddie. 112-107, Wizards 46 seconds.
The team 980 with the call. Wizards a 116-107 win over the Celtics. Washington starting 3-1 for the first time since 2017. Didn't win their third game last season until their 11th game. Hawks and Pelicans.
Big possession defensively for New Orleans now. And the rookie Jones charged with trying to stop Trae Young here. Here comes the screen from Capella. Young, high arcing shot, drops into the bucket.
That is too good. My goodness.
Trae Young finishing with 31 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. His first game this season with 35-5. Hawks getting their third straight win in New Orleans. They've won 4 of the last 5 meetings in New Orleans against the Pelicans. 102-99, the final. Pelicans, of course, still waiting for Zion to come back. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski.
The Pelicans are waiting to get some more imaging done on that foot of Zion Williamson's later this week. They need to see if there's been enough healing done to clear him for more activity. Right now, he's cleared to do 1-on-0 stuff on the court, to be able to jog around the floor, but he's not making hard cuts. He's not able to move aggressively on the court, but he's still a ways away from getting back into game shape and being cleared to play for these Pelicans, make his season debut.
Pelicans losing to the Hawks by 3 on Wednesday. Straight ahead, the NFL coach that shouldn't have been asked this week. SportsCenter All Night continues at ESPN Radio.
We're back on Thursday, and we've got the best Thursday night football game in years. But the Packers will be shorthanded against the NFL's only unbeaten team. We'll tell you how they could possibly pull off the upset. That's Thursday morning on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio.
More SportsCenter All Night. Next.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
ESPN NFL analyst Rex Ryan.
54-13. It was embarrassing. What do you make of that game for the Jets?
Why does Zach Wilson look so lost? Because he is lost. I mean, tell me what they stand for. What the hell are the Jets offense about? I don't know. And so are they, firing it down the field? They don't know who they have at that quarterback.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 8 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN.
Killer crossovers, the nothing but net jumpers, the tenacious throwdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, basketball is back. DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports, is celebrating the return to the hardwood by giving new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. Playing daily fantasy hoops is easy. Just pick your lineup of pro basketball ballers, stay under the salary cap, and rack up points for three-pointers, rebounds, assists, and more. Score big, and you can score big cash. And with a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes, it's the perfect time to show off your basketball IQ. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings app and use code KJM. This week, new customers can get a free shot at millions in total prizes with your first deposit. That's code KJM. Only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-506-6041. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-506-6041 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-506-6041 to see if you qualify. That's 800-506-6041.
The job search is difficult these days, but I found a way to build a solid civil service career and make a difference. As a youth development specialist, I'm gaining valuable experience and job security while they gain confidence and opportunities. Being a role model is rewarding, especially when it involves a good salary, paid overtime, and great benefits. These youth deserve a second chance, and I'm helping them get there. Become a youth development specialist. Apply today at nyc.gov/YDS.
The biggest names,